Hey Em, how are you doing, girl? Good afternoon. It is September, the 8th of September. It is a Saturday, and it's approximately 1 o'clock p.m. Just getting oriented here. How do you like my new background? It's a flannel city around here. You know, it's starting to get cooler as it turns into autumn, and I think I might start using more earthy colors for a background. Earlier, I had a Halloween fabric that I was using, or Halloween inspired fabric. I'll probably set that one up too a little bit later. Anyway, how are you doing, girl? Nice to be with you today. I've got a few interesting ideas I'm experimenting with, and I wanted to see how they come across on camera. So anyway, welcome. I guess the first thing that I want to do is talk about my Peaceful Living book. Actually, it's Mary Mackenzie's Peaceful Living book. The subtitle is Daily Meditations for Living with Love, Healing, and Compassion. So today is the 8th of September, and let's read the passage. The greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. By Elbert Hubbard. I'll go ahead and read that again. The greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. Yeah. You know, I make mistakes all the time. Daily, I make mistakes. And really, what it amounts to is a lot of learning. So, you know, I encourage people to make mistakes, as many mistakes as they can safely make. In fact, bite off more than you can chew. So long as it's done in a safe manner so that tomorrow, you know, the next day, you'll be able to do the same thing. You know, so long as you keep that perspective, I think mistake making is perfectly okay. And is really good for the mind and the soul and the body, because you're continually learning about things that are important to you. Yeah, make mistakes, act in ways that are courageous, outside your comfort zone. I mean, making videos like this for me is a little bit outside my comfort zone. This is exactly where I want to be, right here, right now, making these videos and making mistakes while I make them so that I can learn to make better videos in the future. I can learn to express myself and come off better in the future, on film in the future. So come on, this is the time. The time is now. So let's hear a little bit about what Mary Mackenzie has to say about this quote. She says, "Take the leap. Go ahead, take the leap. What is the worst thing that can happen? Often we are reluctant to make changes that will enhance our lives because of our need for predictability. We may not enjoy the way we live, but at least we know what to expect. However, if we don't try new things that could help us meet our needs, we miss opportunities for joy, love, and fun. Our need for predictability seems at odds with our need to enjoy life." Yeah. You know, people have needs for predictability. I know I have needs for predictability. I really enjoy order in my life. Yeah, and when I don't see order, I'm like, wow, how could I make this more orderly? I like a predictable life. And let's move on to the next paragraph. She says, "But our needs are never in conflict." Well, okay. I'm not so sure about that. "It is possible to meet all our needs with carefully chosen strategies. Do you have a dream that you tell yourself can never come true? Think of one thing you can do today to move forward toward your dream and still meet your need for predictability. Are you willing to take that first step? If not, why? Empathize with yourself. Listen to your feelings and needs and uncover what holds you back from manifesting your dream. Once you feel relief through the empathy process, go ahead and take that first step. And her aphorism for the day is, today, identify a dream you have and take one step toward achieving it. Yeah, that is incredibly important advice. Yeah, I think half the problem is figuring out what you want, figuring out what your dream is, where you want to sort of expend your energy and time and effort. Once you figure that out, the rest is easy. Well, maybe it's not so much easy. It's a lot easier than figuring out what you want. Because here's the thing, I want everything. I want it all. Now, and you know what? It's not practical. I would rather not be hindered in any of my decisions that I make any part of the day. That's a preference. It's a desire. It's a wish. It's a hope. And it's not feasible at all. There are constraints in life. And, we all have limited energy, limited time, limited focus. So, a big part of moving forward in any direction is deciding what direction you want to move. I like her advice too, and that is once you figure out what you want, then take the first step today. That's so important. At least it's important to get started. What you do is you identify a goal and then map out, say, a rudimentary plan to achieve that goal, and then figure out what your next step ought to be, your next action ought to be in order to take a step toward that future goal. And it could be a really tiny step. It might be looking at a web page on a computer screen, or it might be making a telephone call, or sending an email, or even if it's exercise, that's your goal, then maybe stepping outside for 5 minutes more than you might otherwise step outside and doing a little exercise. The exercise may not be the final exercise that you want to accomplish, but it might be similar to that exercise, and that's good enough. It's also important that we be consistent. Not only do we take a step today, but we take a step tomorrow and a step the next day. Yeah, that's how you go about achieving goals. All right, that's that. So I had an idea about reading a book to you. And so this is going to be a first time. Actually, I've read books to you on video in the past. I've done it a few times before. I read a comic book to you maybe about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And I'm just going to do something similar. Now, I haven't read this book yet. This is a picture book. Now, I know you might be thinking, oh man, it's a picture book. He's treating me like a child. No. Adults love to read picture books too. Picture books are entertaining for all. They are only stereotypically, I think, geared toward children, because I enjoy picture books like as much as the next person, and even the next child. So let's go on a little adventure today and read Rob Scotton's Russell the Sheep. All right, here we go. Well, let me just start off with what I see here. A sheep wearing a long nightcap, and there's a frog hanging on to the nightcap. I wonder what that's about. Let's find out about Russell the sheep. Okay, Russell the sheep lived in Frog's Bottom Field. And there he is, swinging from a tree. At the end of a long, busy day, so there he is, there's all the sheep doing their thing. It looks like someone's doing some knitting. Night fell, and the sheep got ready for bed. All right, here's everyone getting ready for bed. Soon all was quiet. Oh yeah, look at that. And a few sheep have fallen asleep too. Except for Russell. No matter how hard he tried, Russell could not fall asleep. And there's Russell. And there's his nightcap. Maybe if it were really dark, he thought, I'd be able to sleep. But the really dark really scared him. Perhaps I'm too hot, he thought. Perhaps I'm not. So there he is. Russell has got a nightcap over his eyes, but it was too dark and he got scared. And here, Russell thought he was too hot, and I guess so he took off some of his fur. But, oh, he got too cold. Look at him shiver. Russell pulled up a pillow, but the pillow hopped away, hopping mad. So there's Russell. And that pillow turned out to be a frog. Ribbit. Maybe I need a better place to sleep, he decided, and went for a walk. There goes Russell, out for a walk. Russell spied the trunk of a rusty car. It was too cramped. Look at him, cramped inside the trunk of that rusty car. He tried the hollow of a tree. That was too creepy. Look at all those bats. He is frightened. Russell even tried sleeping on a branch, but it was too crowded. Oh my gosh. Look at Russell there in the nighttime under the moon in the tree with the owls. Too crowded. Too many owls. What's a sheep to do? Russell thought he would never get to sleep, but then he had a brilliant idea. What if he tried to count things? That would make him fall asleep. So there's Russell. What am I going to do? Look at all that uncertainty in his eyes and the tiredness. Oh, maybe he'll count. Russell counted his feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not tired. I guess I need more feet. He decided, what next? So there's Russell. He's looking at his feet, and he finds 4 of them, and he counts them. It's almost like he's standing on his head. So this says, the stars. Russell counted each and every one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 600 million, billion, and 10. And Russell was wide awake. Look at that guy looking up into the stars. Oh my gosh. And he counted a lot of stars. 600 million, billion, and 10. So he counted them again. Oh my gosh. 600 million, billion. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised it's still nighttime, really. Russell thought very hard. In fact, he thought so hard, his hat went ziggy-zaggy. I know, he shouted. I will count sheep. There he is with the ziggy-zaggy hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, something's happening. Still awake, he said, and sighed. Then Russell realized he had forgotten to count one very important little sheep. Himself. There he is. 10. He counted himself. Russell felt a tickle, then a twitch, and then sound asleep. Look at that yawn. And that frog hanging from the moon. Wow. But he made it. By now, it was morning, and all the other sheep in the field began getting ready for the day. Soon everyone was up. Everyone, that is, except for... There's everyone getting up. Awake after a long night's sleep. Russell! So there he is, Russell. There's Russell on his back with his 4 feet straight up and a frog on his belly along with a blanket. And his hat, look at his long hat now, very straight. Everyone woke up except for Russell. He stayed asleep. Look at this. That was a nice story. Here's Rob Scotton. Rob Scotton. He was one of Great Britain's leading illustrators. That's nice. So that was Russell the sheep, having a hard time falling asleep. Let me tell you, as you get older, sleep gets harder and harder to come by. Let me tell you. Now, I get some good sleep. Last night I struggled a little bit, but I did get probably a good 6.5 hours, which I'm grateful for every wink of restful sleep that I get. And I've been taking some magnesium, making sure that I get plenty of magnesium in the evening, and it's totally working. I am knocked out just by taking a little bit of extra vitamin, a little mineral, a little bit of magnesium, and I'm knocked out for the evening. I'm so grateful to have found that as a sleep remedy. I sure am enjoying it. That is, lengthy hours of restful sleep. Yeah. Certainly good for me now that I'm doing a lot of exercise and working out. It's good for my muscles. I need to get that recovery going, right? So here is my clipboard of additional topics to go over. And I thought I'd try something new today. I always talk about authenticity and being aware of one's feelings and needs. And I figured that I'd give that a try right now. And I did this a little bit before I started the video. I did some sort of a self-assessment. I sort of got relaxed, got a sense of what I was needing and what I was feeling. And with the help of some cards, and I was able to come up with just sort of where I am right now, today, at this moment, in terms of what's going on with me. And one of the things that I'm really enjoying right now is family. Yeah, family. You know, I don't know about you, but family is something that's really important to me. You know, I really didn't quite understand the depth and the breadth of my need for family until really recently. Well, I don't know, maybe the last 6 years or so. You know, I grew up at a time when family was really cherished and valued. And that's a really strong part of sort of my psychological makeup. I never really quite realized it, but it's there. You know, I really have this strong desire to have close family. And it's so funny how my life has worked out where that, I mean, it is true, it is the case, but, you know, I think there are areas where I struggle in that when it comes to family. And it's funny. You know, Americans really put a lot of focus on independence and autonomy. And, you know, that's really great. Though sometimes it sort of acts against the impulse toward family. And, you know, our culture too, our society also acts against impulses towards family too. So it's a real struggle. Now, I still value family. And, you know, it's probably, because it's been on my mind lately, my guess is that I probably need to do a little bit more reaching out and joining and connecting with my family members. and you included, and your mom, and just sort of, finding what resources are available in my world to get more of that family feeling. So that's going on in my mind right now. Those are the ideas that are turning in my mind. Also, comfort. I took a shower this morning, and let me tell you, I love taking showers. They are like having a little massage. They're so enjoyable. In fact, even this morning when I woke up, I slept in a little bit, enjoying the comfort and the ease, and the just the enjoyment of being at rest. It's such a good feeling. It's kind of funny. There are good feelings associated with being really active and exercising, and there are good feelings with not doing a lot, just sort of sitting still and relaxing and contemplating the day. There is comfort in both places, comfort in being active and comfort, well, being inactive. So also another thing that's been up for me lately is this focus on beauty. I've really been, not to toot my own horn, but since I got this new camera, I've been really scrutinizing what my face looks like on video. And I am liking what I'm seeing. I feel so fortunate to be as good looking as I am. It's hard for me to say that without chuckling a little bit, but I am so pleased. I think I am good looking. I'm proud of that. I'm not sure how it happened. I'm sure genetics plays the lion's share of the role of helping me achieve it. I also play some role in it by trying to get good sleep and eating well and drinking lots of water. But, it's really interesting how much enjoyment I have been receiving by just looking in the mirror. And, not only that, but I also have been enjoying the beauty of others around me. There are so many stunning beauties, men and women. I am just blown away. There's a capacity in the human mind to appreciate beauty. The beauty of nature, the beauty of people, the beauty of animals and rocks and plants. I think the appreciation of beauty is something that is really essential to human beings. Why are we so interested in getting higher resolution on our cameras and our television sets? And why are we so interested in Photoshop and appearance and belonging and status and fashion related to belonging to certain in-groups and out-groups? There's something about beauty, internally, externally, there's something about beauty that is significant to the human animal. And I have yet to put my finger on it. I think there might be some aspect of beauty that relates to a survival advantage. It's coming to me now. I really am thinking that beauty has a strong relationship to survival advantage. I seem to remember reading about how the things that we humans call beautiful in each other are things that relate strongly to health. They are health indicators, health signals, and I can see how a focus on health can be advantageous and help survival for a tribe of people growing up 10,000, sort of living 10,000, 100,000 years ago. And even today, I think it is kind of bizarre, this focus on beauty, but at the same time, it makes a lot of sense. Though, of course, beauty can be quite subjective and could lead us astray pretty easily. And so that's something to recognize and appreciate as well. What else is going on for me? Laughter. So I've been watching some of my videos, and I'm noticing that I laugh a lot during the videos that I produce. And there I go again. And, you know, that is something I really appreciate and enjoy about the videos that I make. You know, it's really fascinating. It's fascinating how a human personality can enjoy being with itself. I'm intrigued by it. It's just so curious. You know, what role does laughter play in the human organism? You know, it might be related to surprise, sort of a quick evaluation of, you know, whether contradictions are present. You know, laughter really is a unique animal. You know, that gets me to think about whether animals laugh. I'm sure they do. I think I've heard a lot of animals laugh, a lot of different kinds. They don't necessarily laugh in the ha-ha physical characteristic that most humans laugh. But, you know, there certainly is a kind of laughter or humor. I wonder if crows laugh. You know, I think of crows as being very intelligent animals. Some of the more intelligent animals. And I wouldn't be surprised if crows, if I found out that crows laughed. Yeah, that's interesting. Something to contemplate. I might look it up on Wikipedia to see if crows actually laugh and how they laugh if they do. All right. So, love. Love is another thing that's up for me. You know, I was talking about love yesterday, about sort of being surrounded by it, and how in many respects, to me, that represents an ideal. You know, it's related to appreciation and gratitude. And I really think that appreciating your life and enjoying your life is not only virtuous, but an ideal, something to be pursued. And so I'm really interested in this idea of loving things, loving the world and the world loving me, and wondering how I can get more of that. I mean, yesterday I think I did talk a little bit about how that might happen, how quite often we project our feelings onto the world. And if we want to see more love in our external environment, what we need to do is recognize sort of the love stories, the love narrative, bring attention to the love narrative in our own mind. And I think I figured out a few ways to do that. I'm reminded of something called the loving kindness meditation. I'm not sure if you know about it, but it's actually a very famous meditation. Essentially, the loving kindness meditation is all about taking a moment to imagine someone who you know and sort of wish them that they have a happy life. Wish for them to have a happy life. In fact, one might say statements during a loving kindness meditation like, may you be happy. May you be successful. Yeah. May you enjoy your life. May you have peace. So these are phrases that a person might say during a loving kindness meditation, which might last for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or longer. And, you know, I think that's all a good idea. I think the may you construction be a little archaic. It probably makes a little more sense to update that sentence structure to be more like a kind of phrase that you would say in everyday life, just to make it more relatable. And also to sort of to understand that phrase better. Anyway, I'm about to run out of time. I just realized it. I'm getting carried away here. Anyway, I want to say I love you, peace, And I wish you a wonderful day. Have a good time. Bye-bye.